Another day, another major fraud discovery. A coalition of conservative state financial officers says it has blocked billions in taxpayer waste and is partnering to fight corruption nationwide. Their inaugural 2025 oversight report says affiliated officers protected more than $28 billion in waste, fraud, and abuse just last year. Protected? Is that what I said? Uncovered.
I like uncovered. This comes as the Trump administration has thrown more political weight behind ending fraud, with Vice President J.D. Vance leading nationwide anti-fraud initiatives.
Joining us now, State Financial Officers Foundation CEO OJ Oleka. Great to see you, OJ. Reading through the report, I've got it right here in front of me. What was the most, going through some of the states, Florida being kind of top tier in uncovering fraud, what was the most egregious thing that was discovered?
Well, it's good to be with you. There, quite frankly, were a number of egregious items that we found. There were lapsed payments in North Carolina. There was potentially improper Medicaid payments in Kentucky. There was roughly $400 million of DEI spending in Mississippi. And there are all kinds of issues all across the states. But the most important thing is that when you've got dedicated, courageous, conservative state financial officers, you can stop this stuff. And that is what exactly our state financial officers did. And we're proud of them for doing it.
Can the J.D. Vance-led anti-fraud initiative help state-level officers like the folks that you're working with? How do you want to work with him to accelerate finding more fraud and stopping it?
Well, what the vice president is being tasked to do by President Trump, leading the war on fraud, can absolutely help our state financial officers. One of the things that we found is that a lot of this fraud is based on federal programs. Of course, the vice president is the leader. Our state treasurers and auditors and comptrollers have been on the battlefield for years, and they've been figuring out ways to prevent this stuff from happening. So the best way that we want to work with the vice president is to put us in the game, to collaborate, to work together so that he can lead the charge, find billions, if not $1 trillion in fraud, and our folks can help him do it.
OJ, but people will look at this, and probably people in my family, and say, why was this fraud going on in the first place, particularly in conservative states? Mm-hmm. Why did they let it happen, or why wasn't it detected? And you speak to that.
Well, that's an excellent question. And the short answer for that is, just like there is a deep state in Washington, there's a deep state in every single capital, regardless of whether it's run by a Democrat or a Republican, a liberal or a conservative. And so what our folks have now been empowered to do, again, based on the leadership of President Trump and Vice President Vance, is actually act courageously. Our folks have been trying to uncover these things for years. Last year was a great opportunity to do so. And you saw what happened in Minnesota when you don't have the courage or you don't have the power as a state financial officer to do it. So our auditors have been working diligently. Our treasurers have been making sure they can look under every single rock to find every dollar that they can stop being spent illegally.
I'll admit, state auditor is not an office that I've had on my radar, OJ. But after everything that's happened in Minnesota and these other states, I'm like zoning in. Who's running for auditor in my state? We got to leave it there. But thank you for being with us, sharing what's happening at the state level. We will follow it.
Great. Good to be with you.
All right. Take care, OJ.